Hi, this is Terrence Parr. I'm a professor of computer science and analytics at the University of San Francisco. This is a short video as part of our 692 data acquisitions course in the analytics program that describes how to launch a cloud computer at Amazon Web Services and then get a Python Flask web server running that's visible to the outside world. All right, the first thing we need to do is go to the Amazon console and then click on this EC2 for Elastic Compute. There are no running instances, so I'm going to create one. It's fine to use the basic Linux they've got with a number of interesting tools, including Python. It's also the case that we can use this very small computer for our little test, and it's very cheap, so let's do that. Review and launch, and we'll worry about the security groups later, so let's just launch this thing. Now, you have to specify a key if you've already got one, or you can tell it to create a particular key pair. That just makes sure that only you can get into that particular instance. So I will choose my party key, and then I will launch that instance. And then I will click on this link and go look at the status. And so then we'll sit here for a little bit and wait for that to become available. And once it does, you'll see that this connect button pops up, and that will give us a dialog box that shows us how to connect to the instance. Okay, after a little while, the instance will be fully running, and we get this little connect button. And this pops up the dialog box that indicates that I use SSH, secure shell, and the key file using this user at that IP address, which is kind of like the phone number of that box. So now I'm ready to go. I, of course, have to use my fully qualified path to that file. Start it up. Yes, I'm sure I want to connect to that box. And boom, I'm into this remote server. And you can tell because my prompt has changed here. All right, first thing, let's figure out if Python is running. Indeed, okay. So we need to run Flask. And so let's make sure that we can do that. Turns out I've already installed it. But if you've not installed it, then you're going to run this sudo pip install Flask thing. And of course, I've already installed everything, so I'm good to go. All right, so all I need then is to get this little Flask program into a little hello file, and you can use nano. Save, yes, that hello.py, yes, that's a good name, okay. So I've got that file, and I can start it up. So first problem, it says permission denied, socket. Okay, that's because I'm at port 80, you can see here. Port 80 is reserved, anything less than 1024 is reserved for system purposes. So we have to tell it to run as basically the super user. So now this port is available to me and access it through this web server or web browser here, but I can't because it's just staring at me. And the reason is there's no hole in the firewall that lets me connect to this particular port 80, the standard HTTP. So it's back to the console for us. And we look down here and we see that there's this security group called Launch Wizard 12. We go to this and we say, oh, it looks like only SSH can get in. So I want to edit and add a rule that allows HTTP traffic. And this port range is fine. Save it. Okay, now it looks like I can do both of those. Now in principle, I should be able to just refresh this. Actually, while we're doing this, let's restart. Okay, now I refresh. And you can see every time I hit this refresh button, there's a connection from the outside world from this IP address where I'm sitting. And okay, and that's it. You have a publicly visible server that you can go to from this IP address, as if it were, CNN.com or something. All right, there you go.